What's up, everybody? Welcome to the round 12 player ratings video. I am very grateful to have slept a couple of nights before doing this. I would highly recommend sleeping, resting, giving yourself some time. No matter how bad any loss is, and this one's bad, but no matter how bad any loss is, I think time heals a lot, and that's the challenge with putting content out here and making sure that it's relatively measured and comes from a good place. Don't get me wrong, there's a pain. I think at the time of filming this video, we've had the news about the external review, and John Barker has resigned. So there something has happened. There has been a consequence to the action. So I think I'm a little bit more sad for Barks, because it's obviously something that you never want to see good people leave. And John Barker's been a great servant to the footy club, but at the same time, change is necessary. Change is difficult, but change is necessary. So I'll say that. And I think I'm a little bit more, I wouldn't say satisfied, but the blow has been lessened because I know that something is now happening that I can be confident about, rather than just sitting in this nothingness and wondering what's going to change. So anyway, if you're new to the player ratings video, welcome. It's good to have you here. If you are returning, welcome back. You know how this goes. But for the newbies, what I like to do is I just like to give the players a rating out of 10 pursuant to their experience, role in the side, how they perform that role, what we expect of them. And so they're never relative to each other, they're relative to the individual. And basically, it's the start of a conversation. This is not an official scoring system. This is not right, this is not wrong. It's just to facilitate that discussion. I will make my ratings. You guys in the comments, if you think any amendments need to be made, you just put them in the comments below. So-and-so needs to be up by 1 or down by 1 because X, Y, and Z. So that's how it's going to run. I'll start with how the teams were named. Stocker, Jones, and Williams in the back, or the back line. I gave Stocker a 6. I said this in my review. Why we? For me, this is just the way I see it. So it's not right, it's not wrong, but why is Stocker playing on Liam Ryan and Papley and Charlie Cameron? Why are we doing that to him? What happened to Teague wanting to play everyone to their strengths when he came on as a caretaker coach? What happened to that? I feel like with Stocker, why aren't we letting him develop in his natural position and then moving him across? I just feel like we're playing with his confidence a little bit. I remember in the preseason, Teague said, we're going to put Stocker on the ball because we've realised he was a competitive beast. And now, by the actions of him playing on Liam Ryan, I just think it wasn't the move. Having said that, I thought he was pretty good. I mean, he got himself in positions to win the ball quite a bit. He had 16 touches at the end of the day, and he went at 94% efficiency. He positioned himself well to be part of the scoring chain or the ball movement. And so for that reason, I definitely gave him a pass mark and a little bit more. Gave him a 6. Jonesy, I thought he had his moments where he was really good, and I thought he had his moments where he was really poor, and that's kind of what it is with Liam Jones. Having said that, I think the good outweighed the bad. Just sometimes he has those moments, and I found a way to give him a 6. It was just a gut feel, and he ends up, at the time of filming, I know that he's now on the coach's vote, so maybe that's kind of where it comes from. Zachy Williams, Balenciaga, a few things. I just thought early on in the piece, and again, I've said this before, he looks better behind the ball. He sooks a lot. He got pinned holding the ball by Darling, and it happens in basketball a lot. A guy gets blocked or a guy gets dunked on and they fake an injury, and they're a little bit embarrassed, and I think that's what that was when Darling pinned him. And he sooks a lot. He definitely sooks a lot. I just want him to get on with it and move on. I thought he was good in terms of his ability to win the ball. At the end of the day, he's had 24 touches and a goal. I gave him a 6 for his game, and I feel dirty giving him a 6, and I can't shake what the feeling is. Do I have a predisposition to a frustration with him? I don't know. I don't think so. I'm pretty sure I'm judging him on his merit, but giving him a 7 or an 8 didn't sit well with me. And I just think some of the times he got caught out defensively is probably a reason why. And, the challenge here is, let's just go through it. He let a mark inside 50 go ahead in the third quarter with 10:20 to go. He didn't attack the man in that second quarter with 15 minutes to go. Turnover kick in the third, 7 minutes to go. This is probably why I'm not giving him any more than a 6. I should just read my own notes. He gave away a bad free kick in the third, 5:26, and made up for it with an unbelievably important goal in the third quarter with a little bit after that. So there's a frustration with Zach, but at the end of the day, he's done his job. He's done his job. I just want to see Teague spoke about it in his press conference last week, or a couple of weeks ago. You want to do the flashy things, that's fine, but you've got to defend. And I thought he got caught out a few times and made some critical errors. And he's a senior player in this team. He's not just a young fella trying to find his feet. We need him to be elite, because I think he is elite. So I gave him a 6. I couldn't find a way to give him anything more than that. Curnow, Wiedering and Sada next. Curnow, I didn't notice him much in the first half. I'm pretty sure he played on Jamie Cripps in the first half, which I thought was a interesting move. It allowed Dow to play in the midfield, which I loved, and I thought, tick, all right, we're doing something here for the future. I also think Jamie Cripps is someone that can be dangerous and has got off a leash against us in the past, so I thought it was a solid move. I actually gave Curnow a 4 for the game, which is tough, because has he done his job on Jamie Cripps? I think technically yes. Maybe it is just a 5. My gut feeling said 4. I'll let you just, talk about it in the comments and see what you think about that, if that's something you feel like needs to be changed. Wiedering, I thought he had a really solid first half. He had the 9 touches and the 6 marks. He patrolled well. He gave up the goal to Darling early in the game. But then after that, he didn't really let Darling do much. And I thought that was a win on the day. And I gave him a 6 for his game. Sardi, I've spoken about it in pretty much every video and stream since the game. The first contest, he didn't attack the man hard enough, which was so ironic, because when he had the ball with 6 minutes to go in the first, and he had the ball in his hand and he was on the offensive end, he knocked, I think it was Shepherd. It was a really hard collision. And I said to myself, well, hang on, if only he was harder at the contest defensively as what he is offensively, there wouldn't be an issue. And that's the point. Like, he had the ball in his hand, he ran right through Shepherd and effectively hurt him. But when it came his time on the defensive end to run through someone, he decided to, in basketball we call it closing out. You sprint and then you pitter-patter and you put your hands up and you corral. And I don't want to see it from him. I want to see him go in and tackle. And I've heard commentary around, maybe it's because Plowman got suspended. Well, Plowman, they said that it was a bump. Sard had an opportunity to tackle, and I want him to set the tone with the tackle pressure. I don't want to be talking about not going hard enough with a guy like Adam Sard, because he's vicious, he's tough, but I just think he didn't do it. Now, he did it against Nick Nat in the second quarter. That's the kind of tackle I'm talking about. That's where it should be. So I'll give him some credit. He played well-ish. Gave him a 6 for his game. I really found it hard to give these guys anything more than a 6, to be honest with you. Next up is Doherty, Cripps and Cottrell. Doherty was named on the wing. Broken tackle in the first quarter set the tone for his day. I even wrote here, needs to be harder at times. I can't be saying that or thinking that about a captain. He hadn't done enough in the first half for me. Poor kick in the third quarter with 17 minutes to go, and I said here, poor from a captain. It was a dirty day for Doc, and unfortunately it's the second one in a row. I don't know if anyone else is seeing it, but that performance from Doc was so far removed from the Doherty of not last week, but the 2 or 3 weeks before. And there's a big gap, and I don't know, is he going through something? You don't know. There's so much pressure on these guys, and they carry a burden, family back in Victoria. I get all of that, and I always want to be mindful of that and respectful, but I'm only judging on what I saw, and captain of the football club I thought let us down, so I gave him a 4 for his game. Cripps, beautiful start to the game, lowered his eyes in the first quarter, 16 minutes 20 to go, to Harry Mackay. I thought, wow, look at this, Cripps lowering the eyes, bullet kick, finding a lead. It was beautiful. I just didn't think he did enough in the first half. And then there was a beautiful long handball to Nunes in space, which ended up setting up Murphy, who then kicked it on to Cottrell, I think it was. And I thought, okay, well that's nice play there. But I just thought I was looking for things for Cripps. I didn't think he was involved enough. And again, the moment came in the fourth. We needed the captains to step up. Doc didn't do it. I didn't think Cripps did it. I gave them both a 4. Cripps gets a 4 from me. Cottrell, really frustrating day for me for Cottrell. I struggle to watch him play. I really do. I spoke about it last week. There's a balance of, hey, you go in hard, you work hard, you run hard, and then the skill execution, and it's sort of, they don't match up. And are we going to reward it because he works hard and runs hard and hope that the skill level will increase? I don't know. As it stands right now, the output that we're getting from Cottrell, I almost would rather see Lockie O'Brien in the side. I don't know. That's just how I feel. Or even Sam Petrevski-Seaton. So, I don't want to, I'm not knocking him. I'm grateful for him and all of that, but I just think, I don't know, he's kicked a goal in the end, and there's a frustration that with him, at 13 touches and a goal, I I've got to give him a pass mark. I can't not give him a pass mark. So I gave him a 5, but there is a frustration with him. I don't think he is good enough yet. I think he can work on it. I just think if he hasn't got a specific role, then I just think he floats a little bit. I'm left wanting more is the best way I can summarize it. So I'll let you continue on with the commentary for that. Next up is Murphy, Silvani, and Martin. Murphy, he played up on the ball a little bit more. It looked like it. Looked better. Looked more comfortable. Bad holding the ball. Paid against him in the third quarter, which was the first play of the second half. Just didn't pick it up properly. He did set up Cottrell for his goal. I thought he should have gone back and kicked it, but he was very unselfish. And that's Mark Murphy. He's unselfish, and he's a team player, and he's a clubman, and he's all of that. And, when we lose, he seems to be one of the whipping boys. Did I think he did his job on the day? He's had the 16 touches. I don't give halves, by the way. I don't do 4.5s. I listed it here as a 5. I don't know. It's semantics. Did he get the pass mark on the day? I think so. I'll let you guys continue the commentary on from that, but I thought he was far from our worst. And for me, Murphy, he's had 3 tackles as well. He got around the ground a bit more. No, I'm going to give him a pass mark for that. Murphy, for me, he doesn't need to be our best player anymore. He's playing a role now. We just need him to be, when he does have the ball, he needs to do enough with it. And I think he does do enough with it when he has the ball. And when we get him in space, I think it's good. So for that reason, I gave him a 5, but you'll obviously have your say in the comments. Jack Silvani, he was lively early, but just didn't convert on the scoreboard. He does a lot of good things, a lot of good work, a lot of hard work, brings team spirit, all of that. Just doesn't get the reward for himself on the scoreboard. Set shot on goal, needs to be kicking those. If he's going to be playing as a forward, he's got to be taking his chances, and it's really something that's probably crippled him his whole career. His set shot is not very consistent. Will it come with body maturity? I don't know, but this is year 6. And with that comes a little bit of expectation. He won enough of the ball. He's presenting better as the weeks go on. And I'm just grateful that he hasn't had a nasty injury. He's finally getting a good run at it. And I think he's reaping the benefits of that. So I gave him just a pass mark for his game. Jack Martin, I don't know how it's possible, but I feel like he looked more unfit than last week. I thought he started well like he did last week. He looked lively and then just fell away and just sort of gassed out or just didn't get amongst it. 14 touches. I'm sorry. He's not one of the younger guys. He's one of the guys we rely on to win games of football. He's a match winner. That's how I see him. That's what we pay him for. He's paid very handsomely. And I have expectation of him to be better because he is better. He's a very good player. And, all right, second week back. But you look at like a Tom De Koning. He has incrementally looked better every game he's played since he's returned. This was his 3rd game back. Jack, I didn't think looked much better than last week. And you can talk about his preparation. You can talk about his injury and all of that. You can make the excuses all you want. This is a results business. And I just didn't think he got his job done personally. So I gave him a 3 for his game. And I know he's so much better than that. Next up is Eddie Betts, Harry Mackay, and Fish. Eddie Betts, he was lively early, kicked 2 goals, didn't lay a tackle, which just dampens it a little bit. But at the end of the day, Eddie Betts has had 12 touches and kicked 2 goals. What more do you want apart from the tackles? So that's probably why I gave him a 6 as opposed to a 7 or an 8. That was the one thing that's missing that we really need. But it's quite scary to think that we really rely on Eddie Betts in 2021. We really do. And I think, for the most part, I think he's justified himself this year. And that's great for Eddie. He does bring us, happiness and smiles. And when he does things, we get up and about. Beautiful goal where he linked up with Jack Silvani in the 4th. That was really cool. Unfortunately, when we lose games, we don't get to really enjoy the highlights as much because they're in losses and they don't mean as much. So, well, to me anyway. So I gave him a 6. Harry, bad head knock, copped the whiplash, and that was it. I'm not going to give him a rating. It's just very unfortunate. The silver lining is that we have a bye, so he gets an extra week to recover and hopefully be back for the game against the GWS Giants, which is important for us. Fish is one of those guys who you watch play and you're happy. There's a few guys that do it. I think Eddie Betts has that trait. I think Sam Walsh is one of them. I think Tom De Koning's one of them, and I think Fish is one of them. He's got those fast twitch fibers. He's got that quick reaction time, and he is a joy to watch. He was lively. The inside 50 to Tom De Koning was great. The beautiful kick to Owies in the second quarter with 6 minutes to go was great. What I liked about what we did with Fish was that we got him out in space. And look, I understand when I play him as a forward and all of that. My personal take on Fish is we've got to get him on the wing or in open space, because when he's in open space, the creativity just flourishes. And I feel like with Fish, he's always got more time than everyone else. He's got quick reaction speed, so he can wait a half a second more for someone to come and tackle him, because he can like move away, or he can make a quick decision or change decisions mid moment, if that makes sense. And really happy to have him back. I hope he gets better from here and builds off that. I do want to see him, have more of the ball in his hands, and us to do something with him where he gets more of the ball in his hands. I still think he's a midfielder personally, but I understand there's a team game and he's accepted a role as a forward and a small forward and all of this. But I just think we could do better with him on a wing, maybe even instead of a Cottrell, and that'll allow us to bring in a Josh Honey, or when Charlie comes back, maybe that's the move. Anyway, I'm thinking too far ahead. I gave him a 6. I think it was a good return. I think he can build off that. Tom de Koning, really, really important game for Tom. Beautiful mark from Fish, as I mentioned before in the first. 5 minutes 30 to go. Strong mark on Nick Nat in the goal square in the second quarter with 14 minutes to go. I thought that was a symbolic moment in his development. And unfortunately in the third, he didn't kick through the ball 12 minutes to go. Could have been a much better day. I loved his game. I hope we incrementally increase his ruck minutes. I think that's important. His leaping abilities there. I'm thinking now that we've had 3 games under his belt, we can now start shifting the responsibility a little bit more. I love the fact that Pidenette is in the team with him. I think that's the move for the long-term, success of Tom and his body. I put him down here for a 7. I think the 2 goals really won me over, but see what you think about that. Walshy, the strength for his goal in the first quarter, that's a sign of a guy just willing himself and willing his team. He's phenomenal. 30 touches, kicked a goal. Played 88% game time. He just keeps going. I gave him an 8 for his game. I didn't think it was a chance to knock him down on what he had done for the day. Thought he was our best player. Paddy Dow, I gave him a 6. I thought the first few contests he didn't quite really crack in there, and I think something clicked with him. Like, oh, hang on, I can do this. Oh, I can do this. I can extract the ball and feint a handball and then go to the second option. And he started doing it, and I started getting really happy for him. And there was a beautiful breakaway, which I think was the moment. It was in the second quarter with 5 minutes to go. And he sort of broke away. He danced, stepped through someone and broke away. I was like, oh, Paddy. Like, it literally made me smile. I know that we were playing poorly and coughing up goals, but to see that from Paddy, just, I want to get behind him. I think we all want to get behind him. And I think this was a game where he can build off. The big one was no tackles. And it just, we can't afford that. We can't afford that. He's got to be tackling. He's in there. He's basically effectively taken over Ed Kerno's spot in that midfield for this game. And therefore, he's got to be putting that tackle pressure on. But, look, 19 touches, we'll work with that for sure. There was some instances where he made the wrong decision. And I could see that he's trying to think his way through situations. And sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. There was the handball to Cripps in the third with 18 to go, which he shouldn't have made that handball to Cripps. He was under pressure and Cripps got pinned. He set up Zach Williams' goal, which was beautiful to see. And I hope this is the performance that he just builds off and goes from there. And it's going to take us to play him in the middle. I think we've just got to get the rest of the year into him and say, listen, Paddy, there are 10 weeks to go. These are the most important 10 weeks of your career to date. You are in your 4th year. Go, son. Go for it. You have the keys again. Go for it. Play him in the middle. See what we can get out of him, and we'll go from there. So I gave him a 6 for his game, and I think there was something to work with. The tackle pressure has to come. That's a non-negotiable for me. Next up is Nick Newman, Pidenette and Setterfield. Newman, he was mopping up really well. I actually thought up until he got injured, he was one of, if not our best player on the day. He set up always well for his goal in the second quarter. He gave up the goal to Liam Ryan in the third with 14:50 to go, which wasn't great. But I love Nick. I will say this, and this is another fucking instance of poor team spirit. The guy made one of the most heroic displays of selfless football to put his body on the line. The game is a game of moments. The beauty of this game is the game requires you to be brave in moments, and you have a choice. You can go or you can not go. And he went, and he hurt himself, and he landed horrifically. And again, if you were at the game, please correct me if I'm wrong. But I didn't see a single Carlton player get around him, go near him, touch him on the leg, touch him on the, as he's going off, give him a bit of well done, mate. Get the group together while there is a stoppage in play and say, all right, boys, look what Newey's done. Like, I found that to be sickening, to be honest, like sickening in my stomach. We've done it with Pidenette in the fight against Port, Stocker's first goal, Stocker getting hit in the balls last week or the week before, and now this. And it just reeks of a team that's got no other thought about anything else other than what's going on in their existence. And I'm really disappointed in that. Having said that, I gave Newey a 6. Probably could have been more if he just kept playing, but I thought he was good. Pido, better. Strong mark in the second quarter, 10 minutes 30 to go. Needed to kick the goal, and he didn't. I thought he battled pretty well up against a pretty good ruckman. He does play an important role for us. I gave him a 6 for his game. Setterfield, I'm really enjoying this. I'm enjoying what's happening with Setters. He's slowly getting better for me, slowly but surely. He had the 17 touches and the 9 marks. That was important. I noticed him really being an option around the ground and spreading well and working hard. And 9 marks is a real testament to that. He's also kicked a goal, which gives him some brownie points. So I gave him a 6 for his game. Matty Owies, I love him. I love him. He's really gone from, okay, what is this category B? Is it going to work out? To, we can't drop him. He plays the game the right way. He's kicked his 2 goals at the end of the day, which is important. He's laid 4 tackles. He's had 8 touches and 5 marks, and he's just using his body well. He pinned someone in the third quarter with 4 minutes 22 to go, and he does the right things and goes about it the right way. And for that reason, I gave him a 6. So anyway, those are my player ratings. Now it's your turn. Get in the comments, have a chat, let me know what you think. Have your say. Any adjustments that you feel like need to be made, by all means, put them in there and I'll make them. I've got a table and that'll form part of the Blue Abroad Player of the Year award at the end of the year. And we go from there. Going to be a fascinating week. We've got the Jumper Punch tonight. We've got the Blues Footy Boys this week as well. And, a lot of commentary. It's a tough week. It's a tough time to be a Carlton supporter, but I think this is the change that's been necessary. And we've got to stick together and we've got to, put our faith in the club, in the sense that they're going to be doing what's best for the club. And I think that's the message. So let's see how we go. I'll chat to you in the comments. And as always, go the Mighty Blues.